Most of week one has been announced. The CBS schedule, as mentioned earlier, Steelers at Bills. Oh, well, Pittsburgh. Kevin Colbert told me last week, the GM of the Steelers, he always looks at week one. He may not want to look at this week one because that's going to be a tough one for Pittsburgh. Jets and Panthers, a little Sam Darnold revenge.
Wow.
Right out of the gates.
Man.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
seriously.
that. They could have held that one a little bit longer. I like that one. Cardinals at Titans, that's one of the 17th games. That's one of the games that landed on the schedule when we went to 17. Cardinals, Titans wouldn't have been played with only 16 games. Jaguars at the Texans, the Trevor Lawrence debut against God knows who at quarterback, and then the Chargers at the Washington football team, all the 1 o'clock games on CBS. 5 of them. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 of them. Yes, 5 of them all at once.
Yeah, hey, good slate there. I mean, seriously, under the radar Chargers Washington football game there at 1 o'clock. Chargers got to start off, and then like that West Coast team being that 10 a.m. Eastern. The Darnold Bowl. I mean, that is you're right, like a fascinating week one matchup there. You know, that Zach Wilson, the new Jets quarterback, is going to have to go down and play the old Jets quarterback. But my eye, especially out of those 1 o'clock games, like like the Steelers Bills, that can go either way, right? I mean, you know, it's like if you're the Steelers, you're like, man, we got to play that group and Josh Allen and everything he does. Geez. But also, I can tell you as a quarterback, you hate to play defenses like the Steelers early on in the year too, because everything in training camp is like real simple, right? And even preseason, teams aren't real exotic with their defenses. And then you get into like a week one, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's Blitzburg, and they got 7 guys acting like they're going to blitz here, and they dropped out, and 3 guys blitzed over there, and that could be like a little bit of a punch in the gut as far as just waking you up when you have to deal with that in week one. So that'll be something I'll have my eye on in those 1 o'clock games.
Those two teams played in Buffalo in December. 26-15 was the score. The Bills won. But, you know, the point is this. You have 4 months to get ready for week one.
That's
now.
right, too.
That can
right.
be your obsession, and some
Right.
teams make it their obsession.
They do.
They spend the entirety of the time getting ready for that first game, and they worry about week two when week two comes. The Fox games, there are 4. Well, we didn't talk about the 425.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
There's a major CBS 425 game, a playoff rematch right out of the gates. The Cleveland Browns. The Browns are not the Browns anymore, but they play the Chiefs. So their hopes of getting off to a 1-0 start are, well, look, it's not impossible. It can happen, but I'm sure they would have rather played someone else to start the season. Browns at the Chiefs, with the secondary game on CBS of the Dolphins at the Patriots.
Yeah, no, I mean, first off, Baker versus Mahomes, that's awesome. Divisional playoff game. This is the game Mahomes got knocked out in against Cleveland, so there's that angle you can play on. Cleveland maybe could have won the game if it weren't for the fumble into the end zone North Korea rule that I love and is awesome rule. Yes, best rule there is ever invented. But like, yeah, this is gonna. I mean, Cleveland. You never want to play Mahomes, but man, Cleveland's got to have a belief of going like, wait, we've improved our team. We believe in ourselves because of what we did, you know, at the end of last year and everything like that. And I do think there's a little bit of like, you ended the season against this team. Okay, we got a feel for them and what they did to us in the playoffs and all those things, to where they shouldn't be too scared going into Kansas City to play them.
And they've got 4 months to get ready for it. That's the game that the Browns are going to be focused on until week one rolls around. Let's flip it over to the Fox schedule. They've got 4 1 o'clock games. That means there's going to be 9 games. That's one of the things.
I don't like that.
We wait all that time for the season to start, and then you have 9 games that all begin at the same time. 49ers at the Lions, very intriguing. The knee-biting regime begins with a tough test against the 49ers. Also, it's a renewal of the old Jim Harbaugh, Jim Schwartz moment from 10 years ago. I don't think Kyle Shanahan and Dan Campbell are going to have quite a moment like that after the game, but we can always hope for it. Seattle at Indianapolis, a sneaky great game.
Yes.
Out of the gates. You know, when you look for games that stand out at 1 o'clock, I think it's Steelers, Bills, and
Right.
Seahawks, Colts.
I agreed. I mean, you got the Zimmer Bowl with the Vikings and the Bengals. That'll be cool. But yes, I mean, that Fox schedule, my eyes are all over Seattle and Indianapolis. I mean, Indianapolis is a Super Bowl contender, and we know Seattle is right there on the edge of that too. So yeah, that's the one that I think pops to me more than anything. The San Francisco one, I'm interested, Mike, just to see, of course, if it will be a Trey Lance or who's going to be starting quarterback. But I think to your point, the Seahawks Colts game is the one that really takes the cake.
And then, as we mentioned earlier in the program, the 4:25 p.m. Eastern games on Fox. And both networks have 4:25 p.m. Eastern games.
What's up with
Usually
that?
It's one or the other.
Right.
I mean, week 17 is the only week that I was aware of in the past, the final week of the season, where they clustered the games at 4:25 on both networks. I need to look into this. Maybe I missed this when they did the new deals. I don't know why both CBS and Fox have 4:25 p.m. Eastern games at the same time. Be that as it may, Packers Saints as the main game on Fox, and then it's Broncos Giants, which becomes the main game on Fox if Aaron Rodgers gets traded to the Broncos.
one.
The ultimate hedge for week 1. I wonder how many times we'll see that. I wonder if every 4:25 Packers game is going to be accompanied by a 4:25 Denver game all year long, Chris.
We might. You're right. That makes sense when you put it that way. I mean, hey, the Packers Saints game with or without Rodgers is going to have major NFC implications, but of course is going to be a lot better if Rodgers is there. And yeah, we got the Saints angle of like their quarterback situation, and the Saints are still a really good football team, but did have some turnover this offseason, did lose some players and all of that, And then the Giants Denver game is. Yes, two teams trying to find their way, make their mark back in their respective conferences and everything like that. But, man, if Aaron Rodgers was there for that game back in New York to start off the year and everything like that, that stadium will be electric.
Also, the Monday Night Football game for week 1 will be the Ravens at the Raiders.
Ooh.
And this is the first year since 2006 there is not a Monday night doubleheader. ESPN replaced that with a Saturday doubleheader in the final week of the season with games that will have playoff implications. So the doubleheader to begin the season, staying up until 1 a.m. or later, that's over.
That's killer.
Kaput. That's finito. That was a hell of a way to end that first week. And I would typically watch the first half of the late game and then speed through the second half before the show because it's just too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
So it's no more. It's now Ravens Raiders to cap the week.